Got it. Good evening and welcome to World Cup Grandstand, which comes to you live from Poland, and where in 15 minutes England meet Poland, the reigning Olympic champions, in one of the qualifying matches for next year's World Cup finals in West Germany. The match is being played in Katowice in Silesia, the vast coal mining area of Poland. And such is the intense interest in this game, there were over 600,000 applications for tickets. This enormous stadium, there's no cover here, by the way, whatsoever, and it's a grey night and looks like rain. This enormous stadium actually seats 105,000 people. We were told before the match that 130,000 tickets have been sold, and this seems to be borne out because the stadium is undoubtedly overcrowded. You can't move. And indeed, all the aisles leading to the seats are blocked. The police are trying to sort it out, but it's the sort of situation that the police in England would never tolerate in a stadium like this because it really is beyond the safety measures. Outnumbered in this crowd, nearly 1,000 English supporters who've made the trip. This is a match that's crucial to both sides. Poland need a result, a win today after losing rather surprisingly to Wales in Cardiff, and England could ease their path to the World Cup finals next season by winning here tonight in Katowice. The team news. The English team was announced by Sir Alf Ramsey just after lunch, and Mike Channon, the Southampton striker, is out and is one of the substitutes. Instead, Sir Alf has moved Peter Storey to win the ball in midfield from fullback. He wears number 4 and plays in midfield, and his place at fullback is taken by Leeds United's Paul Madeley. So it rather looks as if England will be playing 4-4-2. The lineup, Peter Shilton from Leicester City in goal. The back 4, Paul Madeley, Leeds United, Roy McFarlane, Derby County, Bobby Moore, West Ham United, and Emlyn Hughes of Liverpool. The midfield 4, Peter Storey of Arsenal, Colin Bell, Manchester City, Alan Ball, Arsenal, and Martin Peters of Spurs. And the 2 lone strikers in front, Martin Chivers of Spurs and Alan Clark of Leeds. And the 5 substitutes, Ray Clements of Liverpool, the goalkeeper, Norman Hunter of Leeds United, Tony Carey, Sheffield United, Mike Channon of Southampton, and Mike Summerby of Manchester City. The Polish team was announced less than an hour ago, and it shows 4 changes from the match against Wales when the side lost, and 3 significantly are in the back 4. The only back 4 Polish player to maintain his place is Gorgon, the giant blonde centre-back. At right back is Szczesny, playing in his first ever international. Alongside Gorgon in the back 4, Bolacki, and at left back, an experienced international, Musial. The other change is in attack, where Banash, the veteran local striker, he plays for the local club Gornak, lines up alongside his club captain and international captain, Lubański. The news of Lubański, who was doubtful for this match, is that he was declared fit this afternoon. Lubański suffered a cut in the kneecap in a recent match, and the cut was reopened in international training by his club mate, Gorgon. The stitches were taken out about 36 hours ago, but this is a calculated risk by the Polish team management in playing Lubański. So that's the news now from Katowice, where the atmosphere really is growing with every moment. Sirens, high-pitched whistles, the supporters in full cry, and really the whole stadium solid with people, and every road to the stadium absolutely jammed, and not a square inch of space in any of the car parks. So now, with less than 15 minutes to kick off, back to Frank Proff in the Grandstand studio.
Well, we'll be rejoining David Coleman in a few minutes' time for live coverage of the whole of that match in what is clearly a situation of some considerable bedlam. And underlining what David was saying about the importance of this match, you only have to look at the Group 5 table to see what a vital international this is for both these countries. If England win this evening, they'll have 5 points and will make virtually certain of a place in the final stages of the World Cup next year in West Germany, with a home game against Poland still to come. And really, even a draw would leave them in a fairly strong position, but a defeat for England would leave that Group 5 situation absolutely wide open. Well, here with his views on who or what might influence the outcome of this match is Jimmy Hill.
Well, in putting this match in perspective, I think it has to be realised that England could well lose it. And if as a result of losing this match they failed to qualify for the World Cup finals in Munich, it would have a disastrous effect on English football for a number of years. That's the pressure that's on Sir Alf Ramsey and the lads in Katowice tonight. I myself have been reviewing the thing, and people are sort of saying, oh, well, against Poland, they lost to Wales, it's going to be an easy match for England. But that's Poland in Cardiff. They're going to be a different proposition in Katowice. That's why I'm going to be sitting here waving my Union Jack, as I'm sure are both my colleagues, Bob Wilson of Arsenal and Scotland there, and Brian Clough, who sometimes gives the impression that he's not an England supporter, but I know better. They're going to talk later on. But meanwhile, let's look at the double threat of the Polish side, the men really who may well score against England, Lubański and Dania, two very talented players with lots and fight and fire. Here we pick up Lubański playing against Wales. A beautifully built athlete, just the right height. He's captain of the side. Here he wriggles his way through, shoots, not too much power in that one, and Sprake easily gets down and saves it. But he can make goals as well as take them. Here we see him in the Olympic final against Hungary. Wriggles his way through again, a clever dribble, and lays off that ball perfectly to Kraska on the left wing. Scampering off again for the return. Look what happens now. I think he leaves it there for Gadocha. An open goal, of course. But Gadocha's a left winger, and that's his right foot, and it goes over the top. Once again, versus Wales, Gorgon, the man who retains his place in the defence, puts that ball through. Lubański burst past the Welsh defence, caught them out there. Not an easy ball to hit, but he volleys it well and hard there, and Sprake brings off a good save, or a partial save, and Richards completes it. That's the nearest they came to scoring in Cardiff. Now, once again, back to the Olympic final. This man, Schulterchik, on the ball. Lubański to his left, and seemingly no one behind him. But just look at this skill and his awareness of where Dania is. A lovely drag-back pass there. Dania runs in and hammers it with his left foot, bringing a fine save from the keeper. But they challenge and fight for each other. Same match, goals coming up now. That's Lubański, putting the Hungarians in a panic. Dania gets on the ball there, drags it cleverly with his foot, and puts it into an empty net. And finally, we get a chance to see the twin threat that England will have to face. This is Dania on the ball. Dribbling well, but you can see Lubański running to the right and the three Hungarians going with him. And then they say maybe the danger's not coming from there. And Lubański has made that room for Dania to make that shot. That's the threat of the Polish team. I don't want to frighten the lives out of everybody, but those players can play and they'll be cheered on by their fans tonight. But against them will be Peter Shilton. One of the very good things, the very fine things really, about the England team is that he really has emerged as the natural successor to Gordon Banks. He's got over his early nervousness and he's proved that he's got all the qualities of goalkeepers. Look what he did in the Home International Championship when he showed, first of all, his courage, coming out against the man, holding on to the ball at all costs, and it doesn't matter what happens afterwards. That was against Anderson of Ireland. Here we pick him up against Scotland. This time it looks like Macari's ball. But he reads the situation. Watch how he keeps his eye on that ball, whatever, punches it clear, and disregards the fact that a goalkeeper is expected to fall like that when he gets the ball away. But it's his clever positional play and angling that I really think stamps him above other goalkeepers. This is Lorimer bursting through, and look at his position. Perfectly placed and poised to go either to left or right. This time, he has to go low and to the left, and he gets down and makes that save. Against Wales this time, it's Evans picking up the ball now. He's wriggling his way through there to a similar position. Out comes Shilton again, adjusting his position to be perfect and making himself favourite. Exactly the same position, but this time the ball goes to the right. And he's beautifully poised again to take off and save it. And finally, the shot that set everybody talking, and the save that was really breathtaking. Now look at his feet. This is the same save from behind the goal. Don't look anywhere else. Look at the feet there of a man who's balancing himself, poising himself, ready to take off, whichever way the ball comes, and make that kind of save. I'm particularly pleased that Peter Shilton is going to be in that goal tonight and in his present confident form. But for the rest of the team, Sir Alf Ramsey's choice, first of all, Bob Wilson. What do you think of it?
Well, we've heard about going for goals, Jim, but this is, in my opinion, a very defensive side. Midfield, he's put in players there that'll run and chase, and particularly bringing Peter Storey back into midfield, which is his club position at Arsenal, of course.
Are you for that?
Well, I think that he should stay with the side that I thought was beginning to look something like certainly against Wales. Against Scotland, well, Scotland played very well.
Yeah.
I really think that he should have kept that, because I'm a very great admirer of Mike Shannon anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that he's a sort of player, if he can get the room and run at any defence in this world, he'll take people on, he'll go past 1, 2 people. But
you would have gone for an attacking, a more attacking policy then?
Well, I think I would have gone for the side which I thought was beginning to look to be quite a good side, rather than to go back to what is really an ultra-cautious type of team. I think it's a team now that is very experienced, and they'll always give 90 minutes and they'll do their best, but it's not a side that's in any way creative.
Brian Clough, is Alf Ramsey too cautious in this respect for this game?
No, not for this game, because he wants the best of both worlds, Jim. He doesn't want to lose. He thinks he's going to win, which I think he's going to win, certainly by 1 or possibly 2 goals. But he's this type of man, you know. Despite everything, he still picks a side to stop him losing.
Yeah.
When everybody should be saying to him, go on, Alf, instead of messing around winning 1-0, go and win 4 or 5. The Poles are amateurs.
Yes, but they're not like our amateurs in a way, are they?
No, they're not. They're not
amateurs
amateurs in the accepted sense of the word, but they did play in the Olympic Games, and I know that they played like amateurs on occasions there. I feel they'll play like amateurs on occasions tonight. I don't think they would grace the finals of the World Cup. I feel we will. We've got far more off than they'll ever have off.
Yeah.
And despite the 100-odd thousand, Jim, which there will be there, we will absolutely teach them in every department of the game tonight. And yet this is still not good enough for Alf. He's still selected a side which is cautious.
What about Peter Storey in the middle of the field and just 2 men up front?
Well, I don't think this will happen. I feel that what he's done is he's picked Madeley and Hughes at full-backs, and he'll be wanting them to play like right-wingers and left-wingers more than he would want wingers to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
And he's picked Storey as a safeguard in case these two get caught out, and Storey will be wanting to wallop somebody or slow them down round about the halfway line.
Yeah.
But I do expect England to attack an awful lot tonight.
You do?
Oh yes, I haven't accepted this business that's been going around for the last 2 or 3 days. It's not the end of the world if we lose. It is the end of the world.
Yeah.
They're not coming back from Poland if they lose, I'll tell you that.
That's the way I feel about it. Bob Wilson, do you feel the match is that serious?
Oh, I think it's a very serious game for England, and I think that you made the point very early on that although they're amateurs, as Brian says, the biggest point is that out there tonight there's 110,000 people, and those Poles are used to 10, 15,000.
Just for a moment, you can see the excitement there on the pitch, building up, the referee and the linesman, and grouping just before the start of the game. Over now to our match commentator, David Coleman.